Godzilla vs. Kong has come, and along with it, two brand new MonsterVerse graphic novels that connect the dots of the events prior to Kong and Godzilla's epic throwdown. Godzilla Dominion and Kingdom Kong. Both are prequel stories to Godzilla vs. Kong and allow us to get glimpses of the lives of our favorite monsters when they aren't throwing mitts at each other. Today's video comes from Godzilla Dominion. This is by far my favorite Godzilla comic from Legendary Comics and may just be one of my favorite graphic novels of all time due to its simplicity and ultimate focus on Godzilla. He does some really cool shit in this comic, and many of you will be happy to know that there are no boring human dialogues in Dominion. It's all just a big G-Man and his thoughts, which are surprisingly complex. Turns out Godzilla is quite the philosopher. I highly recommend that you purchase your own copy of this fantastic comic, and for $15 to $20 you can't really go wrong. You can look forward to an eventual review of both the comics on the channel, but for now let's go to the reason why you all came here. Where the hell was Behemoth during Godzilla vs. Kong? Let's recap real fast as to what happened to everyone's favorite sloth, ape, elephant monster thing after we saw him bow to Godzilla at the end of King of the Monsters. In the lore, after this climactic moment, Behemoth ventured all the way back down to the Amazon forest. This was for 3 reasons. Behemoth is one of the more calm-tempered of the Titans, so he had no urge to claim new territories and start new battles out of choice. Instead, he elected to head back to his place of origin, the Amazon forest, where he could rest and stay out of Godzilla's way. But the absolute primary goal of Behemoth here was to return to the forest in order to use his natural healing radiation that spews off his body and manure to restore the forest after mankind had logged and destroyed so much of this beautiful land. Behemoth's goal is to restore the balance of the jungles, so that is what he did. Now let's get to Dominion and what happened to the beast just before the events of Godzilla vs. Kong. The story follows Godzilla as he does his routine checkups on the other Titans around the world, and this time we see him making his way up the Amazon River. Here he comes across Behemoth's territory, which is under attack from a new monster called Titanus Amulek. This is one of the more abstract and bizarre Titans in the MonsterVerse, and we will make a more dedicated video on the creature later on, but for now let's get back to the story. Behemoth and Amulek are locked in combat. Amulek is challenging Behemoth for his land and title as Alpha of the Amazon. Many fans wanted to see how Behemoth would actually act in a fight with another monster after King of the Monsters, and in Dominion we finally get to see his fighting style, which unfortunately isn't all that good apparently. Amulek uses its strange body to strike Behemoth's tusk right off. This is when Godzilla decides to watch the fight, waiting to see which monster he should aid in their battle. This is when the G-Man notices just how much Behemoth's presence has healed the jungle, which is described as part of Godzilla's overall territory. Since Godzilla rules the entire world, the Amazon, even with it under control of Behemoth, was still part of his overall land, and he started to appreciate how its caretaker was performing. Behemoth and Amulek continue their battle. The giant protector of the Amazon unleashes a mighty strike with his remaining tusk. It is a direct hit, but it doesn't do enough to stop Amulek, and the vile beast sends a closed fist directly back into Behemoth's face. And just like that, Behemoth is knocked out cold. See, I wasn't joking when I said that Behemoth isn't that well of a fighter. Here in a part of the mighty Amazon River, Behemoth lies. Godzilla now gets angry. He sees how Behemoth is the best fit for caretaker of the jungle, and even notices how mankind has begun building a makeshift home of sorts for Behemoth. The monster had healed their lands, given them more food and a better life, so they wanted to give him a proper home. Godzilla then takes action. As Amulek begins to drag Behemoth to some unknown location in order to finish the monster off and likely consume him, the G-Man rushes in and gets Amulek in a bear hug, then launches the ugly monster directly into the hard rock side of the river. Amulek gives a massive roar, showing his anger with this situation and Godzilla depriving him of his victory. The king counters with a roar of his own, and unlike Kong, who refused to submit and would rather die than be Godzilla's bitch, Amulek out of sheer terror bows to the one true king of the monsters. Godzilla taught the monster a lesson and forced him to retreat and go back into deep slumber, hopefully to not come back for a long time. Godzilla had saved Behemoth, so therefore Behemoth could continue to heal the jungle, which in turn helped Godzilla bring balance back to the planet. The G-Man then sets back out to sea, and Behemoth heads back to his man-made home in order to rest and heal itself from its battle. And here is where Behemoth likely stayed and still was present during the events of Godzilla vs. Kong. So the reason why you didn't see him was because he was continuing his mission, healing one of the planet's greatest jungles, allowing Earth to breathe, allowing Godzilla to be content. So residents, what do you think of Behemoth being a glorified caretaker for one of Godzilla's properties? Are you happy with how they portrayed him as quite this sorry fighter in Dominion? I would have liked to see him be a little bit more capable, but this story is to prove that Godzilla has to keep everyone and everything in check. The G-Man is literally like the eldest sibling having to take care of a bunch of pesky toddler brother and sisters who always want to fight. If you like this type of video and want to see more like it, make sure to share this one around to all your friends and comment down below to get the algorithm all fired up. Thank you residents for your time, and I will see you in the next one.